Systems. If you don't have good systems, you are reinventing the wheel every day. It's a very small thing, but until you actually put systems in place, templates, forms to fill in, procedures, flowcharts, until you do that, you don't realise how much time and energy you're actually spending reinventing the wheel every day. So here is a couple of examples that hopefully help you to develop systems in your business. First one, quotes. You must have seen salespeople come round. Here's my little form. It's got the pens on there. Looks super geeky. It's small, it's A6, so it's like a notebook. Previously I was using a notebook. Go and do a quote, take down the notes, put the measurements in, everything written down, very good in a notebook. If you haven't got a notebook, that's a good place to start. So with the form, basically you need to have a form that prompts you to ask for this information so that you don't forget these tiny little bits. Sometimes you might say, well, these little bits and bobs are not really important on every job. It's still really good idea to collect all that information all in one place for every single job. So have a little form that reminds you of all the information you need to collect on every job. And it might be, what I've got is a pre-qualify. Sorry, I couldn't remember the word. Pre-qualify. So that's when a new lead comes in. It's the questions you ask to check that that job is actually of interest to you and fits your portfolio of work that you do. There's no point chasing every lead that ever comes in. Every time the phone rings, every time you get an email, there's no point chasing every single one, driving around the country, doing quotes, and when you get there, it's not your type of thing. So that's like pre-qualify. I ask questions like, where are they located? Check that they're not in Timbuktu. And also ask for photos. If I'm not really sure if my skill set meets up with what they're requiring, then I ask them to send pictures. I also ask where they found me, and I clarify, what the communication method is. So on my board here, each one has got where the lead came in and how I communicate with them. Otherwise, you get a lead and it'll be Joe Blogs, and you'll be like, yeah, I'll respond to him. And then you're like, oh, was it on Facebook Messenger? Was it WhatsApp? Was it a text message? Was it a voicemail? Then you spend half an hour trying to find their details. So saving all their details in your phone and then writing on what communication method you got is a really good idea. So I don't want to dwell too much on that. That's new job leads. You should have a little clipboard or a notebook. You sometimes see like sales executives, they have the A4 fold out folder. It's even got a calculator and stuff in there. Whatever you're using to do a quote, all that stuff, like a little mini toolbox, should all be together. You grab that one thing, it's got the pens, it's got everything all in one place. More templates. So quotes. Every time you send a quote out in Excel, Microsoft Word, whatever it is you're using, you should have within that document all the notes that remind you of all the things that you need to think about when you do that quote. Then what you're building is a system, and you can then give that file to someone else. So if you build the business up, someone else can open that file and they've got like a cheat sheet of how to do a quote. Same with all your bookkeeping. You should have little notes. You can hide them, right click on the cell, add a new note or add a comment. And then that gives people a guide of how to fill it out, how to do it. Even little things like emails. So if you're sending out a new quote, you should have a draft email. Now, it might be 10 paragraphs long, and you go, oh, that's far too long. Yeah, but you're not actually sending it. It's just a draft. And then every time you send a new quote, you open that email, copy and paste it, and then you can delete the bits that don't apply, tweak them. What it means is you're not starting from a blank page, you're not reinventing the wheel every time, but also you're not forgetting certain important things. So if a date is contractual and you want to mention that date in the email, for us to achieve that date, we need to have a deposit by X, this sort of thing. It can prompt you to not forget small little details. It also helps it look more professional. Templates and systems, I can't emphasize how important it is. Even like late payment, you go, what's the system? What do I do? If you've got some members of staff, if you built your business up, they go, right, the payment's 1 day late, what do we do? And all they do is they look at the flowchart that you've written and they follow it. So even if you're a one-man band, if you've gone through that experience before of a late payment, what did you do? Did you learn anything from it? Can you improve it for next time? And then you just write down a sequential list and go, right, every time that this XYZ happens, I just follow the system, follow the chart. Don't need to reinvent the wheel. I've gone through that before. I'm just going to follow my guidelines. And it gives you a really good, not a confidence boost, but a really good thing to fall back on. So when these things happen, you can be confident. It's confidence. You can be confident that you've done it before, and you just follow the systems, and it will work. Honestly, I can't emphasize how much systems work. if you haven't got them, you'll be surprised at how much more efficient you get, how much time you save, but also how much less energy and stress is taken out of every day. My past in London, I was about 9 years setting up systems and implementing systems from a very small team of like 2 or 3 people up to about 80. And honestly, if you're going to build your business up, even if you're going to stay as a one-man band, having these systems means you are not second guessing yourself. You are not wasting energy every day. Put something in the comments if you've got other systems that you can recommend, and I'll be more than happy to put another list in there of other systems that I've not mentioned in this